And when
Right.
Google team matching happened, and they gave me an opportunity to build for end consumers, and that too for the NBU market, it did seem like a better impact and something I
Hmm.
always wanted to try out. So that like at that point everything clicked, and just the decision to move both outside of the company and outside of the country became easier.
Welcome to the Tech Voyager. Tech Voyager में आपका स्वागत है, an interview series where we bring success stories from people who moved from India to abroad. I am Dhruv Agarwal, your host for the show, and I'm an engineering manager who loves to build teams at scale. Today's guest is someone whom I really look up to in tech. इन्होंने जहां भी हाथ लगाया है, मचाया है. Currently building products for the next billion users with Google Singapore. Please welcome AV Minaz to the show. Minaz, welcome.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, bit of like too much honor in that statement. Thank you for hosting me here.
Pleasure is all mine, Minaz. I have been waiting to host you and share your story. So, can you please tell everyone what you currently do at Google?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm a software engineer in the org called Next Billion Users. So we primarily build softwares for for those regions where people are using smartphone for the first time. And so basically, we are building products for really resource constrained devices. And at this point, I work
Mhm.
on a camera, and our goal is to build a fast, high quality camera for really resource constrained devices, like devices which come with 1 GB of RAM and so on, to improve overall Android experience.
Lovely. And so you are working on a team which Google like shows in the IO when they say कि यार सस्ते phone में we are able to capture better photos than this iPhone. नहीं यार कुछ भी क्या.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as up to iPhone like genre, but yeah, we have been able to do considerably good. I primarily work on areas like night mode and HDR, and
Okay.
we've been able to bring experiences where people can today capture photos, which the
Hmm.
alternative was to not capture a photo at all when it's night.
Truly creating value there into the dark. So Minaz, let's hear your story from the beginning. So कहाँ से हुई है शुरुआत?
Cool. So yeah, I'm born and brought up in Bhilai, which a lot of my friends cannot pinpoint on map. So it's in a state called Chhattisgarh, and thereafter, yeah, I joined DTU, did engineering with you, spent then 4 years doing hustle of this sort of that.
Hmm.
Did some internship in with some startups. Thereafter, had a chance to work open source, do my Google Summer of Code, land an internship with Microsoft. Uh, there, got an PPO there, so I was pretty free in my fourth year. Tried to do a startup. Towards
Hmm.
the end, realized I need to learn more. Decided to join Microsoft. It had both that glimmer and learning aspect.
Right.
Um, Built distributed systems for 3 years with Microsoft Cloud, Azure. And
Mm-hmm.
thereafter decided to both leave India for Singapore and join Google, build for the next billion users. And that's today.
Wait, I have many whys for you. So I have why did you move from Microsoft, which is a dream company for many? What was your motivation to move out of India? Why did you choose Singapore? What triggered it? So please take a jab at all of them.
Do have a story there. So in my first year of Microsoft, there was a company-wide hackathon. And
Okay.
I think today it happens every year. It's fantastic. And
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for projects, and I wanted to like again work on something new. And there were a bunch of projects on HoloLens back in the time. So the project I found was hosted by somebody from Microsoft Research in Seattle, and I had an opportunity to work, collaborate with them. And
Okay.
we did good there. We kind of won our first prize there, which gave me an opportunity to go to Seattle, present the demo to the VP back then, and
Wow.
also get involved with this lead from MSR, the Microsoft Research.
Hmm.
So that's when I got a first-hand look into how things are built, like basically how Seattle is, how Microsoft in Seattle is. For those who may not know, Microsoft is based out of Seattle. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, it was the HQ. HQ was really different both in terms of infra, the terms of facilities, and the kind of projects they were doing. And after I came back, well, I had multiple opportunities, where this lead reached out if I could, work with them, but all of them required me to move to Seattle.
Okay.
And towards the end of my Microsoft journey, I was actually looking forward to that. But Microsoft had, like, India had this ruling that you have to be at a certain level before you can move abroad. I guess a lot of companies
Hmm.
have this today. And that basically required three promotions from when you start. So I guess
Oh.
it was around January, 2.5 years. I was both a tad bit frustrated, but
Hmm.
anticipating, get my third promotion, move to Redmond for some time, work on these kind of projects, maybe get more involved with Microsoft research, if it could have happened. And it was around that time the recruiter from Google Singapore reached out, to probably if
Hmm.
I would be interested in giving an interview.
Okay.
So, but again, it was a hard choice in a sense that I've been working with Microsoft for a while. It's a relationship
Right.
that we established. It's easier that way.
Absolutely.
Uh, but there's something else that happened in Seattle was when I went there, it was December, and again,
Hmm.
Seattle could be a bit of gloomy place. Like it's 4 p.m. It's nighttime in Seattle, and I had no
What?
friends there.
At 4 p.m.
Yeah, like in December, it would be night, completely dark, and 4 p.m. And the reason I'm bringing this up is, to me, that one week was a bit of gloomy experience because I did
Hmm.
not have anybody I knew there. So it was as well scary to think of, moving to Seattle. And Singapore, on the other hand, was again a place I have had a chance to visit during my university days, and it felt like an easier thing to try if I really want to try out, moving outside. Google was, of course, a
Right.
motivator, and they just clicked, yeah, maybe why not try uh, Google Singapore first? And I knew, like, later on, if the see Silicon Valley is still, like to do, I could probably do it later on. And
Yeah.
Singapore had this benefit of being closer to India, and again, ultra modern city, and so on. So yeah, said yes to this interviewer, gave a phone interview, and that's when the first blunder happened. Like, it was after the phone interview we realized that while the interviewer was from APAC headquarters, which
Hmm.
is Singapore, he was actually recruiting for Hyderabad.
Okay.
So at this time, I thought back and realized, I just told them that it may not be the best move for me. Like, I'm
Right.
anticipating this move later on, and
Hmm.
at this point, I think we should not proceed with the interview process. Maybe
Hmm.
later on. And they came back after a while and said that you they cannot offer me a US position. Nobody can. Like, it's
Hmm.
because of the visa restrictions, you cannot just move from one company to another company in US. So, but
Okay.
what they could do is they could probably try out some other locations in APAC, which included Singapore and Japan.
Okay.
Now, again, this whole process started again, and that's when Singapore thing became more possible. I gave, I think 5 rounds of interview sitting in Hyderabad, and
Okay.
luckily those things went good. And thereafter, again, I did have a confusion whether or not this is the right move for me because,
Hmm.
again, there is a strong inertia that comes from being well established in a particular, like, knowing everything in some place and totally moving out to a different genre.
Yep. And re-establishing your own credibility in the organization.
Precisely. So what motivated me there was, so in Azure, we were building for enterprise customers, and uh, technically that was a great problem statement. Like, you had to be, doing the best of distributed systems you can. You have to be,
Hmm.
super resilient. But to some level, it was putting me into an existential crisis of sort because, like, who am I building it for? And when
Right.
Google team matching happened and they gave me an opportunity to, build for end consumers, and that too for the NBU market, it did seem like a better impact and something I
Hmm.
always wanted to try out. So that, like, at that point, everything clicked, and just the decision to move both outside of the company and outside of the country became easier. Made
Hmm.
the call, had some fun time in between, and then, yeah,
Right.
started working in Singapore.
Did you do something offbeat during your break time?
Yes, I took my car. I was in
Okay.
Hyderabad. Decided to go to Kanyakumari. So I started driving, went up to just, I think, 250 kilometers, wrote a one-page Instagram post saying that I don't want to do it. Somebody, kind
Hmm.
of motivated me to do it. I went up to Bangalore, went up to Salem, and then yeah, I could only keep my enthu up till that point. But yeah, did this thing. It was super fantastic. That long India drive solo, something I
Right.
probably will. I don't know if I'll get to do that again.
It takes a lot of effort, and I feel
Yeah,
going from your origin to the destination is still very enthusiastic, but coming back is a pain. You
but
just
you
don't
have
feel
to do
like
it.
driving back.
Particularly if you have taken your car, you have to do it. Like if it had been a flight, it would have been easier. Yeah, but
Yeah.
overall it was fun. Something I would do again if I had a chance.
Wow. Very inspiring, and I feel this will give some ideas to people who are in between their two jobs.
One suggestion for those who are in this space: please don't leave your job on a Friday and start it on Monday. Like don't do that. Take this break. Yeah, I know people who do that. Sorry to interrupt. Please go ahead.
people people do a myopic decision कि सैलरी का लॉस
Yeah.
हो जाएगा, ये करेंगे वो करेंगे, कुछ लोग फ्राइडे को ज्वाइनिंग मिलते हैं कि सैटरडे संडे की सैलरी मिल जाएगी. So people do all kind of things. I feel looking backward, it is essential to take a break. So when I moved my companies, I took a 1 week break and traveled to London solo.
Yeah,
So
fantastic. Next level.
so Mina, so when did you move to Singapore?
It was 2019. Yep,
Okay.
2019 March.
Okay. And
2019
how
May.
has been
Sorry.
your
Yeah. Yep.
life after then in Singapore?
Bunch of things. Maybe I'll divide it into good, bad, no ugly. Um, so yeah, there is also this factor of moving from Microsoft to Google. So I'll try to omit those factors because it's
Right.
well known. So one thing that was new there is the high level of diversity. Like Singapore
Hmm.
is a nation with a lot of expats, and uh, throughout this journey, have had some friendship because of which I have had an opportunity to learn about other cultures. Again, it's not too deep of any sort. Like most of my friends were still Indian, but even in the company, I got to learn about people from different part of the globe and
Hmm.
a bunch of things. And these people they introduce you to a bunch of other things. For example, an acquaintance from Malaysia got me introduced to bouldering, also called wall climbing,
Okay.
and that's something I'm super into to date. So yeah, it takes you that kind of diversity to expose you to much more options that are possible.
Right.
Work-wise, Singapore is super strategic in terms of its location. Like
Hmm.
Singapore has a time overlap with USA, it has a time overlap with India, it has a time overlap with London, Australia. And contrary to that, India, for example, if you're working with folks on the Pacific time, you are on a 12-hour delta. And
Right.
either one of you have to be either up in the morning or, stay late in the night. It's never a good
Yeah.
experience for either of you. Singapore, on the other hand, has this overlap, and that's probably the reason my team is there. And
Hmm.
collaboration wise, it's fantastic. Like you get to collaborate with much wider set of teams. City wise, city is fantastic. Tad bit expensive, but IT salaries are good. So unless you have those crazy spending habits, uh, you would have a good life there. Income
Hmm.
tax is low, much lower than India. COVID time
How much is
aside,
it?
Singapore it tends to be like it will take longer to describe, but yeah, it started with 9% and then goes up to
Okay.
on brackets to 18% and so on.
Okay.
Uh,
That's
but yeah,
simpler because India it goes to 30%, and software
precisely.
engineers come into the 30% bracket very early in their life.
Very and yeah, that's also the thing. Like here, the brackets go really up. So Singapore has a very high sorry, average income. So probably that's why even an IT job could put you in a lower bracket. That's another crazy
Okay.
part. But that's a good thing for us, right?
Right.
Like it's not about the ego; it's about paying less tax, right?
Yes.
Uh, COVID time aside, Singapore is like 2 hours away from a bunch of location in APAC, and most of these are touristy
Hmm.
places, right? Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam. Uh, that was frankly one of the motivator to go there as well. Like it
Hmm.
is the country you could go to if you want to explore APAC.
Right.
Uh, these are the good part. In terms of bad things, I would say it is an expensive city. Like in a way, there would be a bunch of luxuries you could have in India. You could have. a bigger house, for example, a fancy car, maybe a house help and so on. Again, this is where it becomes a bit subjective. Like to me, none of this
Hmm.
really mattered, so that expense doesn't really creep in. So for those who
Okay.
want to have those luxuries, you would have to make a much higher, money over there. And there is one more big problem. If you are comparing it with USA or India, the
Hmm.
IT here is good, but not as big as it is in California or Seattle, or I would say Bangalore or Hyderabad. You know,
Okay.
um, yeah, companies are still coming in here, but
Hmm.
I guess it's not Singapore. It's just India has grown a lot in the past few years,
Hmm.
so there might be more opportunities purely in terms of the quantity of work here. Yeah.
Interesting. You answered actually my next question, which was around opportunities in Singapore. So thank you so much. And so
Yeah.
now I would like to ask the finances for you, right? So how did they change for you, your salary and your savings? If you can give me a percentage wise number.
Great. So in terms of base salary, I could say about the time, when I made a switch. It's easy to quantify the base salary because
Hmm.
I could say it kind of increased around 2.5 times.
Great.
Stock options is harder to compare because the Microsoft stocks I received it, in 2015, 2016, which grew
Hmm.
up to a certain point and so on. But even then, the way I could describe it is the stock options here are like even within Google India and Google Singapore. And again, this is for the set of roles I'm in. I can't speak for the
Hmm.
for the senior
Of
positions.
course.
Yeah, so those are higher here. It's kind of always related to the amount of how expensive your country is,
Hmm.
and I can say that it's lower than California and it's higher than India.
Right.
I don't really have a percentage number here because the numbers really changed over time, and I never really received a stock option of from Google in India. But yeah,
Hmm.
in terms of saving, for me, having a similar kind of lifestyle, if not, if not better here, any amount of assets I built, I kind of built here. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, savings can be really good here as compared to India. Maybe in multiples of 4 or 5 times. And
Wow.
again, it is very subjective. No, it's very subjective because it depends on your spending habits, right?
Of course.
Like
Of course.
if you want a car, then your savings will probably go nuts here, right? That's
Hmm.
cheaper in India. Than
And
it's significant.
how good is the transportation otherwise? Because in India, people buy car for different reasons, but there are reasons because the transportation is not very good in the city. How good is the transportation in Singapore?
Precisely. It's fantastic. It's public transport system is probably all you need. I would say I'm a bit spoiled. Like I used to live 1.4 kilometers away from my office. I used to,
Okay.
have a cab chauffeur me around. So it's even cheaper if if you want to take a cab. It's not that expensive. Yeah, I used to always go via cab, and even though I could take a
Okay.
metro. So yeah, it's that good.
Okay. So Minaz, let's move to the last segment of the show where I'll ask
Hmm.
you advices for three categories of people. The first category is people who are in their first to third years of college. The second category is people who are freshers or are in the fourth year of college. And the third category is people who are experienced, somewhere around 3 to 5 years of experience. If every category wants to move abroad eventually, so what are your advices for each of them?
Cool. I would probably take a step back here,
Okay,
and to
interesting.
explain all these situations, I'll probably have to combine them. And it kind of comes from what we used to do in our college days, right? Like if I look
Hmm.
back, I see three set of things people were kind of into. They were, of course, more, but this is what I could see. One, if you remember, a lot of people were involved in practicing algorithm and data structures, what we used to call probably competitive coding back then,
Right.
right? And then there were a bunch of people who would spend a lot of time in there doing some startup projects or freelancing or some sort of college club projects or in other industrial
Right.
projects. Uh, then there were the third set of people who who would take the subjects really seriously and really learn everything that's
Hmm.
being taught, get good grades as a consequence. And I'm not saying these are mutually exclusive. Like people
Hmm.
were doing one or two or maybe all of them. and I can probably share how this impacted me. And these answers may only be relevant to the kind of career path I got, because different people can have different career paths to
Right.
get exactly where I am. To me, I was doing only the second one. Like up till third year, I was only into doing some projects, trying to learn
Hmm.
things from doing them. And
You were the second
something
category.
happened. I was the second category. And towards the beginning of third year, if you remember, when our internship session was starting, right, I just completed my GSOC, and I was super confident that my resume is strong. Nothing
Hmm.
bad can happen to me. Yeah. And somehow overconfident that I would clear the Algo DS rounds as well. Amazon came, got rejected in the first round. A great eye opener. That's when I realized, you need to look into this as well. And it I guess takes around 1.5 months if you really, decently practice. That's what helped me crack Microsoft internship. And even today, I see this. I've taken a bunch of interviews both for Microsoft and Google, and I've
Hmm.
seen a lot of exciting resumes. People who have done a lot of work. The thing
Right.
that happens is people come unprepared, and when I'm taking an interview, particularly Algo DS,
Hmm.
I'm going to evaluate you on how you approach that problem. Without practice, you cannot really portray the most efficient way of doing so, and as a consequence people get rejected in those interviews. And this is something that will affect you both, if you want to switch within India or abroad, because and
Hmm.
again, for the kind of companies I've worked on,
Right.
so this is going to be critical. If But yeah, now again, this is where I enter the subjective area, that I would not spend my entirety of life on this. This is something that you need to do every time, you have to give these kind of interviews. It's fun. Like, I kind of find it addictive, and that's probably, why people get stuck. So it's
Right.
something that you should do when you're trying to switch. It's hard when you have a full-time job, but you have to do that. If you like, it's basically fall into the genre of, whatever you're doing, try to do it best. Take your time. Your interviewers will always give you time if you ask for it. Again, like, now coming back to one thing, as I mentioned, I was mostly in the second category.
Hmm.
Second category did not help me land the internship, but as soon as I joined the company, it gave me a head start. Like,
Leverage.
everybody who was into who was going to start doing those things, I already had an experience with those things. As a consequence, I grew faster in those roles.
Hmm.
But like, maybe to quantify it, that would be like early promotions and so on. Getting to get do more impactful work within
Right.
within whatever you're doing, and that's been super helpful. But after a while, people catch on. Now I'm in a stage of my career where everybody have done everything. What I didn't do in my college was take my subject seriously,
Hmm.
and it used to be some sort of a cool factor back then, right? I don't know why it
Yeah.
was cool to
कि
not
हम
get
नहीं
good
पढ़ेंगे,
grades.
एक दिन पहले
But
पढ़ के ले आएंगे नंबर.
precisely, and एक दिन पढ़ के हम नंबर कुछ तो ले आते थे, but the
Hmm.
problem is we didn't never have a chance to get those fundamentals right. We
Absolutely.
and I've been paying the cost of that throughout my career. Like, in my first 3 years of Microsoft, I spent a lot of time studying distributed systems. Like, the same thing
Hmm.
that we've been taught in college, I had to learn them from outside. Today, the kind of work I'm doing, we have to build the state of art systems. It requires us to know the kind of fundamentals like the CPU architectures. If you have to optimize an algorithm running on low end devices, you need to know that
Hmm.
low end devices. To know those low end devices, you need to know those, you know how your system is working, how your CPUs are working, what are the new kind of vector instructions, and so on. And this is where the good fundamental helps. If I could go back, I would not try to act cool. It wouldn't have taken a lot of our time. I would just have,
Hmm.
I would have studied those concepts well. Again, I'm not saying
Right.
spend entirety of your time on that, but just don't skip it. It's There's nothing cool
Hmm.
about it,
It's
because
very
as you grow
useful.
in your career, yeah, as you grow in your career, it's gonna become like, particularly if you're continue to be a software engineer, your value will be about your expertise. If you want to be the one who is building the state of art system in some genre or other, you really have to know the end to end of that system. You have really have to get your fundamentals straight. One bad thing here is just doing that in the college would not help. This is a forever journey. Like, even in your life, you would be reading research papers trying to do the same thing. but that head start is gonna be helpful. So I guess yeah, this is nothing specific for people who want to move abroad, but all of this is what's gonna help you through all these stages. Yep,
Thanks, Manaz.
that's
And
my
I,
answer.
I love this fact because your advice is about becoming a great software engineer, and the world, how it is organized right now, is that if you become a great software engineer, the world will align towards you, and you will have the choice to choose any location, whether you want to work in India or abroad, and you will have more opportunities, and then you can decide what works well for you. So, very well said, Minaz. Thank you so much for the lovely advices. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope your journey inspires many people. Everyone, I would encourage you to strongly reach out to Minaz for your doubts. I can connect you with him. I'll put both of our LinkedIn handles in the description. Minaz is someone who has done so much work. He has contributed so much to open source. He has done GSOC. He has done work with the largest organizations in the world. So he's totally someone who you can look up to in tech as well. Thank you, Minaz, for your time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thanks for the kind words and thank you for taking this initiative. I'm really sure this is gonna help a lot of people. Good luck on the further side of initiatives you're
Thank
gonna
you,
take.
Minaz.